Okay, so you come to, and you
Always good.
are in an all white space,
Great.
a room with no walls. All you see around you is not blindingly so, but it's just pure white, almost like pure nothing more than any kind of color.
Sure. Just a
An
white
un
void.
Yeah, an unmistakable hue of white. And you're sort of like, what the hell's going on here? And you hear from
Yeah.
behind, as one does.
Hey, what the hell's going on here? Why am I stuck in this void of white?
So you you're like, huh? And then you hear from behind you the sound of like what has to be like a dripping faucet or something. So you're like,
Yeah,
all right. You turn around, uh, because even though it's an all white space, you still have like a physical body.
sure. Just nothing to orient it against.
Yeah. And the way that you turn around is you kind of like spin on your heels. Perfect 180 degrees. And standing in front of you is this guy. He's about 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's dressed like a clown, and he is holding a balloon with your face on.
Hmm.
The face is like grinning, and like down the middle of his face, like coming out of his mouth, is like a very you know not a not unsignificant amount of blood. Is like kind of like dripping out of his mouth, and that's what like the dripping noise is. It wasn't a faucet at all, and so you're like, huh? And the clown in front of you looks at you and he goes, "Hello, Aaron. My name is Dreamy
Dreamy
Dan,
Dan.
ruler of the dreamscape." He goes, "And welcome to the Multiverse Saga, Part 1. Aaron takes Vatican City."
Oh no.
The
Like take it like a fucking Muppet take something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that. And the balloon with your face on it like winks at you and then it pops. You wake
Great.
up, you're like, that was fucking weird. And
Yeah. Yeah. That was fucking weird.
the dream kind of like dissipates as you stretch and the sunlight hits you at what can only be described as the perfect angle.
Oh, I don't like that.
So what it is it's like a ray of sunshine that gets in through your, like, you have windows and stuff, but there's curtains and stuff, and it gets through the curtains just enough to be pleasant, but like not strong enough to like you can look directly into it and it's not going to hurt you. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
actually, like, sometimes you feel like a hum when you look directly into it.
Okay. That's
You call it
fucking weird.
you call it, even though you never say this out loud, you call it the hum of God. So you
Why
kind
I
of,
call that?
because this is a few years down the road and you are actually living in Vatican City.
What? Why? Why am I in Vatican City?
You have a job there. You work uh you work for the Catholic Church.
I don't want to work for the Catholic Church. No offense, Pat. I know you came up Catholic.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to work for the Catholic Church. No thanks. I'm not gonna move to fucking Vatican City for a job.
Yeah, but so you're not working directly for the Catholic Church. Essentially, what you're doing is you're working for like the more, let's say, esoteric side of the Roman Catholic Church.
The fuck are you talking about?
So you have a few years down the road, you've become a demonologist,
What? I don't.
someone who studies and catalogs demons.
I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Normally, I mean, I see why you're saying that now. Normally, you would react that way, but what's happened in these past few years for you has been a little interesting. You, for a brief time, were possessed by a demon, just a minor one, and it didn't really do much. Mostly, so you were like you were possessed by a minor demon named named Dave, and
Yeah,
Dave possessed you and stuff for about a week and didn't really do much. Like he mostly like watched TV and JO'd and stuff like that.
sure.
Listened to Boney James, things like that.
Yeah,
Just
man.
kind of like, and then after a week, like was like, all right, well, that was like kind of like a nice vacation, and like left, went back to hell. And ever since then, you have felt like this weird, almost like pull from the world of the occult.
So I
Normally
start to
not,
research and catalog them.
yeah, because you're like who the heck was that guy? Dave? Like you actually go, like you actually went to uh a local church, a Catholic church.
Yeah,
Um Saint, yeah, it's the church, it's of Saint Saint Peter McDaniels. He is the toughest known saint in history.
the toughest saint.
He was this Irish guy from the 1500s, and he would box fucking anyone, dude. Especially if you were saying some awful things about the Mother Mary. He really could not stand that. And so he would go around, and like old school Irish boxing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would go around he'd go around essentially like boxing blasphemers,
This guy sucks.
especially the ones who said something about Jesus's mother.
This guy sucks.
Why?
Just fighting people who
Saint
disagree with
Peter,
him.
yeah, Saint Peter McDaniel's. No, people who blaspheme, he won't stand for it.
No,
And so, and he,
that's like somebody's opinion. This guy sucks.
this guy would take on anybody and did. He actually had a undefeated record when finally they managed to, you know, to martyr him. The way that they did it is, the way that they did it is, so they did this thing where like they waited for him to leave, and then they went inside his like hut or like whatever that he lived in,
Yeah.
and they put a bunch
Didn't
of
know that he
like,
was a hut dweller,
oh yeah, big time hut dweller.
hut
He
man,
actually would like hop from hut to hut, never staying at like a place longer than, a year or two.
the old hut hopper.
Oh yeah. So they waited for him to leave, and then when he was gone, they put a bunch of poisonous lobsters in his bed. And when he came home that night and you know, said his prayer, he took his vitamins, said his prayers, jumped into bed, and the lobster's like, got him.
They killed him.
Yeah, and then like the next day, his mom found him, and she was like, "Oi, the lobster's got him." Like I can't do the accent really, but they so he
Oh, okay.
became a patron saint of absurd assassinations, basically. So but he was tough as F, dude. That's the only way they were ever able, the pagans, the non-believers who killed him. That was the only way for them to get the better of Peter McDaniels,
I'm glad he's dead.
the toughest son of a bitch that ever praised Christ. So that's the church. So you go there, you talk to this guy there. Um, excuse me. You go there. It's not like during mass hours or whatever. But you ask to speak to the. You're not really sure like what to call it, so you're like, I'm here to see the head priest of your temple. And she's like, what? And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm not Catholic. The big dog. And she's like, oh, okay.
Call him the big dog.
So
Man,
you go into this guy's office, and the first thing you notice about this guy's office is that there are like easily 15 swords hanging off this guy's walls. And they all look different. They all appear to be of different country of origin or whatever. And you're like, huh. And you kind of look over, and sitting behind a desk is this, just like priest, basically. There's like a suit of like really cool looking badass armor like hangs on the walls next to him. And he's like, hello, I'm Father Benedict Orlando, Catholic battle priest. What ails you? And you tell him the story about being possessed by Dave, and he just kind of like hung out and just did some real lazy bone shit for about a week. And then he's like, Dave, you say? And he looks at you and he's like, Aaron, is this the first time you've ever been possessed by a demon?
I mean, I would assume so. This is my first.
And you're like, yeah, you know, I think. And he kind of looks at you and he goes, Aaron, this is the third time we've had this conversation. And you're like, what? And he goes on to tell you that
Hmm.
your body has essentially become what's known as like a demon vacation zone, where it's like when demons, they need a break from hell, they kind of just bop up onto our plane of existence and take control of you for about a week or so. And you've been possessed by several demons, and they kind of like wipe your memory away. So Dave is your current one. The one before you was a demon called he's called Skin Ripper.
Ian
And
River
then
took over my
y-
body, and I just sat around and jacked off and watched TV. That's what I did. That's what we did.
mostly, yeah, mostly. And then
Man,
the third one, the first original one that you're possessed by, um, is a demon named Sky Killer.
the Sky Killer shows up, possesses me, and goes to the other demons like, "Hey, this guy's cool if we just hang out and watch TV and jack off for a week.
Yeah,
It's great. It's
essentially.
relaxing." That
And so
sucks. I'm a
yeah,
destination body.
for demons, yeah. So And Father Benedict Orlando looks at you and he goes, Aaron, it's time that we put this matter to bed for real. And you're like, honestly, Father, at this point, I'm willing to do anything. And so the way that he stops this is he like waits for you to fall asleep and he like hides underneath your bed, you know? And that night, like you're there's this demon named Sir Tooth.
Sir Tooth.
Sir Tooth. He's gonna possess you. Like he's heard tale of like what it's like to, hang out and beat off or whatever. And so he waits for it to start to possess you, and then he like rolls out from underneath the bed like super dramatically and stands up. And he's like, "This gate is closed," and he like whips out like a fucking razor sharp sword, and it like symbolically is him like destroying the gateway between you and hell, I guess. And it works. You stop getting possessed by demons, and you are like so profoundly shaken by this experience that you never fully convert or anything like that. It's not like you start become you don't become a Catholic, but you start working with Father Benedict Orlando, tr- cataloging and trying to essentially predict the movement of demons.
This sucks.
So you,
I've been possessed by multiple demons, and I'm like, yeah, I want to dig in. I want to get into this more.
yeah,
I'd be
it's like
fucking terrified.
that's the thing is that even though you're not possessed again, it's not you still have fears about it and occasional nightmares. And the nightmares that you have about it, in every single dream, every single nightmare that you have about it, in the dream, your dick is like just a little smaller.
Like progressively, or just every time it's a little smaller than it is in the real world.
Previously in the dream.
So it's
So
getting
this is
smaller
like
over time.
it's a progressive shrinkage deal. Yeah.
So the
So
the dick that I have in my dream tomorrow will be shorter than the dick that I have in my dream today.
if you have a nightmare, you don't have a nightmare every single night or anything.
Okay.
And it's not like it affects your actual, stuff.
Still, it's got to be some weird psychological thing.
Yeah. You actually like you wake up that morning and you make a note to like, talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, peer into the that perfect light of the morning and you hear the oh so brief hum of God. You stretch, you jump out of bed. You're wearing white boxers with red hearts on them, and you get ready for your day. You go downstairs. So you live in Vatican City, and it's basically you live in a place where it's an apartment. They're apartments basically owned by the church, and so you live there. And
Okay.
they have people who kind of look after you guys, you guys have like a hired staff. There's people who professional cooks and stuff like that who cook food for the whole apartment. They're they come in and like clean your space and stuff like that. So it's pretty okay. The only thing that is a little odd to you is that there is another room in your apartment that you're just never allowed in.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this shit.
Why not?
I'm not gonna move across the fucking world to go work for the Catholic Church and I have an apartment that there's a room that I can never go into. And I'm just
Like,
like having encounters with demons. I don't
well,
I don't want
you're
this.
you're you're mostly cataloging them. You're not necessarily you're not trying to like bind them to earth or anything like that.
Of
You're
course not.
going you're going through the all the like the ancient books that the Catholic Church has, and you're learning about, you know, the various demons that are out there and the different prophecies and stuff like that. You have like, you work directly underneath Father Benedict Orlando. Again, you don't work for the church directly. And again, you had this kind of crazy experience of demonic possession, multiple
Yeah.
times. And so you're feeling a little, weird about the world. It turns out that, man, the world is just a little bit more kooky than you ever realized.
It's
So,
kooky.
yeah,
I became a vacation hotspot for demons where all we did was hang out and jack off.
yeah,
And several, I became a known place where that was cool. It was cool to do that to me, with me,
yeah,
for them.
yeah.
So do they are they influencing my behavior, or is it just known that like, hey, if you go here, this is all this guy does?
So what it is it's more of a thing where the demons would possess you, and they tried to not bring attention to themselves. Like really all they wanted to do was just kind of hang out and, experience the sensations of the world just for a week, just take a break from hell. Cause man, hell, oof. You want to talk about a hostile work environment.
It seems like it would be, but are they coming to me because they know that when they're in my
No, they're
possession?
they're in they're in control. So basically they possess
Okay.
you, so you just like black it out. And so and you were kind of wondering, so like why your vacation days were getting like cut. It's because the demons were using them to just hang out and jack off. Watch Goodfellas.
Man, it is a good movie.
It is, yeah. Um, a few of them, Dave actually did the thing where he put Dark Side of the Moon alongside The Wizard of Oz, and like it blew his mind. So so basically, so you've had this, very transformative experience, and that's why you're doing what you do, you know?
Yeah. Hang out and jack off and do nothing else.
Yeah. So so basically, yeah, so they would kind of take over you and you'd black out and stuff like that. So you're glad that it's done, and you're like, you know what? I don't want that to ever happen to anybody else. It's kind of a terrifying experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
So
losing a week at a time, just losing it. It's
yeah,
gone because I'm possessed, and all I do during that time is sit around and jack off to please the demon that's taken over me.
your prime vacation space.
This sucks. This sucks.
Well, not anymore. I mean, Benedict Orlando stopped it. And now you're like, you know what? I'm going to work to make sure that, these guys can't keep doing this shit to people? So you were working for the occult wing of the Catholic Church, basically, you know?
Yeah, sucks.
You go, you're about to go downstairs to get breakfast. Um, you go into the bathroom to, brush your teeth and take a shower and stuff. You walk in, and it's almost like as soon as you walk in, like a portal opens in front of you
What?
and a figure steps through.
What the fuck?
It's a guy who looks just like you, except
Yeah,
he's jacked, and he has like a machine gun, like with that cool thing where you put it across your chest or whatever.
like a Rambo thing.
Yeah. He looks at you. He's like, Hey, Aaron, it's me, Aaron, aka you.
Thank
You're
you.
like, you're like, what the hell? And he's like, Aaron, look, he's like, we don't have a whole lot of time. There's only a certain amount of time that I can even be here. And honestly, I don't even know how this is going to affect things, you know? It's like, but I am from, well, a different universe from yours. He's like, you exist in what's referred to as Universe Prime in a way that we don't really fully understand. You are,
Like the Jake Paul drink sponsoring the universe. It gets really big.
it's like, you are Aaron Prime. If
Okay.
things have that, like, if bad stuff happens to you, it affects the entire, line of errands. Another portal opens to the left of you. This guy
These
steps through.
portals need to fucking stop. These portals need to stop. One of you is already is like enough.
This guy steps through. He looks just like you. He's wearing like a very tight gray shirt, and you can just see his abs and his
Man,
like he's got rock hard nipples. He's like he's like
cool, I
Aaron.
guess.
He like comes out of the portal. He's like, it's true, Aaron. He's like, we've studied the multiverse for a very, very long time. And what we've learned is that in Universe Prime, you are like the main character, basically, for lack of a better term. Again, there's a lot of this stuff that we don't understand, but we have to make sure that you stay safe. A portal opens up behind you, and this
What the
guy
fuck?
steps through. You kind of go like, huh, and turn around, and it's a guy standing in front of you. It's you. He looks just like you. Um, except instead of wearing glasses, like the way you and everybody else is, he's wearing like jet black shades. And he's also wearing like a Speedo. And this guy has abs on abs
Why do I
on
keep getting like
abs.
hot versions of me?
There are errands from all over the multiverse.
Yeah, but I've gotten like three hot ones in a row who all are like ripped and have great abs.
This guy, he's like
One guy's got a fucking gun.
this guy is like a surfer. He's like, whoa. He's like, this is
No.
crazy, man. I'm in Universe Prime. The other two kind of
I like
like
this one the
roll their eyes
least.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So they go on to, the guy, the first one, the Rambo one. He's like, Aaron, like, you are in a very unique position right now. You're cataloging these demons. However, we have seen a prophecy of you accidentally bringing a demon to your plane of existence and it destroying the entire world. And if that happens to
Yeah.
you, we're all fucked.
Well, that sucks.
Another portal opens in front of you. This guy steps through.
How
He
many do
looks
we need?
he looks just like you. He's got like super long hair, you know. Uh he's got like a guitar slung around his neck, you know.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a very loose t-shirt, but you see his arms and they are just fucking, you know.
Pipes. Pipe City.
Oh,
Plumbers
it
Union.
yeah, dude. The plumbers fucking union. He's like, Aaron, this demon, like we said, it's you're destined to like bring him to Earth. However, we're all here. We've got your back. We can help you.
What the fuck do you want me to do?
They're
Stop
like,
cataloging demons?
they're
Okay.
like, like, no. We need you to go to page 666 and conjure up the demon on that page. We'll all gang up on it and defeat it. And
How
then
about you just tell
we
me which one summons him and I don't do it?
they're like, well, no, you're destined to do like at some point, even through
Well, no,
trickery
no,
or
I just
guile.
stop. I just quit. I quit doing this thing I don't want to do anyways.
So, like, what would you do?
I just never catalog another demon. And I tell the Catholic Church and I tell, you know, Benedict Orlando, I tell him, hey, thank you, but I can't do this anymore. My faith has led me to a place where I believe this is not good for me or anyone else. So I'm leaving. I'm going back home.
Yeah.
And I never catalog another fucking demon. Thank God.
So, what do you say to all the different, versions of you from across the multiverse?
I tell him, I'll just stop cataloging demons at all. So therefore, I will not do it. And I say, I really don't want to be doing it. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
it sounds like a thing I
And
would hate.
you say it to all of them, and like they all like breathe like sighs of relief.
I would say, I don't know how close you guys feel to me, but I was possessed multiple times by demons and they used me exclusively to just lay around and jack off. I was a known hotspot for a lazy jack off sesh
Yeah.
in the demon world, and I was possessed multiple times because of it. Are you guys aware of that? That's why I don't want to do this anymore. I will gladly stop, and I will never, ever call this demon. I won't catalog any more demons.
Surfer
I'm
Aaron's
done with
like
demons.
Surfer Aaron's like,
Give me a different one.
all right, bruh.
God damn it.
So they all like all their portals open up and they're like, all right, Aaron Prime, it was an honor to meet you. They all like step back into their respective universes.
Great.
The portals all close silently. So you get all your stuff, you go downstairs. Benedict Orlando's down there. He's like, what's up, Aaron? They made chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast. He goes, hey, you got all your stuff. What's going on?
I would tell him, I would say, look, I'm at a point in my life where I don't think this is good for me any longer. Say, I thank you for your help with the, you know, helping rid me of the possession. But I think it's time for me to move on to something else. Thank you for
Yeah.
everything you've done.
He like looks at you dead in the eyes. He sticks out his hand. Do you shake it?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
You shake his surprisingly soft hand, and he goes, Aaron, I've learned a lot from you. Thank you.
Say likewise. I'm forever in your debt.
And he goes, and I in yours, friend. So you leave. You jump on the first plane back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You fly back, you land, you're kind of like jolted from a dream. You had fallen asleep on the plane, dreamt of a howling void. You kind of like wake up, you're like, oh, whoa. And you know, you get off, take an Uber back to your place, and you're like, I am psyched to be home. You didn't jack off the entire time that you were in Vatican City, because even though you're not Catholic, you kind of just felt weird. It's like
Yeah, I can see that.
a holy city. So you're thinking to yourself, like, I have got a date with myself waiting. And so you walk up to your place, you open the door, and like sitting in the living room is this like frightening looking demon that has like nine arms. And he's
What?
yeah, and he's reading a Rolling Stone magazine, and he looks up when you arrive and he goes, Heron. and then he like rips all the flesh off of you and like
What the
tortures you.
fuck?
He tortures you for a very, very brief amount of time, only about 35 seconds, really. But the stuff that he does to you makes it feel like 25 years. You know what I mean? It's the
What the
demon
fuck?
that was prophesized to get you. He escaped and he was waiting for you this whole time. And so
How?
he rips you apart.
This fucking
And
sucks.
all across the multiverse, all of the other errands, like they suddenly go like, "Oh, I think I have to take a shit," and they just blip out of existence.
Great. Fuck this. This sucks.
The line of Aaron has ended.
Good. Good riddance. Fucking demons.